The episode begins at a dinner party in a mansion. There, one of the guests leave the main room to go somewhere else, all alone. Later, an unknown person then arrived to the guest and shoots him. Everyone on the party has heard of the sound that came off from the gun and starts running towards the room and sees one of the guests dead on the ground. Later, Inspector Megure appears at the mansion, which the landlord asks Inspector Megure how much longer he is about to detain his guests, because he has no time for those investigations because there is no any evidence founded. Megure tells the landlord that how much he complains, the victim was one of his guests, and if he could bear with it a little longer. The landlord then asks Inspector Megure that the murdered is still around the mansion. Then a boy comes into the room, explaining that the crime took place in a sealed room that was locked from the inside, and that the murderer entered through the balcony from an adjacent window, and has escaped the same way. The ground below had no traces, and based on that, the murder must have been committed by someone in the mansion. The landlord says that it is impossible because there is at least 10 meters gap from the window to the balcony, which he has one question left for that, which is, how can anyone jump across that? The boy explains that if one makes use of the roof's eaves, then the distance to the balcony is not more than 2 meters. The landlord says that it is a naive deduction, which he asks him, if the gap is 2 meters and the eaves are only 10 centimeters wide, how does one safely return? The boy explains before the murderer left the first room, he fixed an end of a rope there. When leaving the second room, he fixed the other end onto the balcony and then climbed back. Inspector Megure then asks the boy about how the person untied the rope on the balcony. The boy explains that at the end of the rope, there was a rod attached to it, and it would hold between the balcony post due to a constant tension in the rope, so with a little bit of slack, it can be removed. The boy then suggests Inspector Megure to go to the balcony and check, and that he will find some marks on the spot where the rod was held. Inspector Megure then wonders why Yamazaki would wait in a locked room. The boy believes that the murderer had some important information to tell him and has instructed him to lock the door from the inside and wait. The landlord then became angry, telling the boy that he is straying from the point. Now he wants to know who have killed Yamazaki. The boy then explains a little bit more further who the suspect possibly could be and points towards the landlord. The landlord tells the boy that his leg hasn't been recovered yet, which the boy throws a world globe towards him, which he avoids the attack on him, which everyone is shocked to see that he can stand perfectly. The boy then tells the landlord that his leg has been recovered 3 months ago. Inspector Megure then tells the landlord that they contacted his doctor and told him everything. They have also uncovered everything that the landlord and Yamazaki performed secret money transactions. The landlord then tries to escape, which the boy kicks the glove towards the back of his head and falls down. The man has been arrested, which Inspector Megure thanks the boy known as Shinichi Kudo for solving the case.